On paper, the ASUS ExpertBook Ultra is everything that I could want in a laptop. Great performance thanks to an Intel Core Ultra Series 3 processor, incredibly thin and light with the non-tandem OLED screen version coming in at under a kilogram. Oh yeah, did I mention a tandem OLED screen with ASUS claims up to 1400 nits peak brightness, and ASUS also claims 24 hours of battery life, though even in a sponsored video, like this one is, we do have to point out that in our standardized testing, we got 12 hours, which is still more than enough to get you through the typical workday. Let's take a closer look. Oh, right, first at the accessories. You get one power cable. Ooh. 90-watt power brick, which ASUS claims will give you 50% battery in just 30 minutes. And the ExpertBook itself. I cannot wait to see this. Oh yeah, good point. Very, very highly recycled and recyclable packaging. Apparently the finish on this, which ASUS calls super nano ceramic, is 5 times the durability of the industry standard, and they say they tested it by passing over it 100,000 times. Wow, it feels really cool. It's almost like a soft touch plastic, except it's not plastic. Apparently this is quite similar to the finish that OnePlus used on the OnePlus 15, which has been quite well received. It's kind of trippy. And because it's made of an aluminum magnesium alloy, it also doesn't even feel that metallic. It's like the most premium feeling plastic ever, if that kind of makes sense. Like it doesn't sap away so much heat from you, but it could help conduct heat away from the components. Man, it's light. Whoa, and you can really feel how much of the weight is in this tandem OLED screen when you flip it up. Because there's 2 OLED layers in there in order to improve longevity as well as peak brightness. Look at that, that's crazy. They're using Gorilla Glass Victus for the touchscreen, which we already know we like for its scratch resistance and its shatter resistance. But on top of that, they're using Gorilla Glass Matte, which is supposed to dramatically help reduce glare. And I mean, you guys have seen what things look like when I'm holding a screen on this set. Dude, that's incredible. Look how diffuse that is. And this is on a black screen. I don't even have it on yet. Built-in fingerprint sensor, by the way. I guess while we wait for it to boot up, this is a good time to talk about the specs. It's available with up to a Core Ultra X9 CPU, up to 64 gigs of LPDDR5X memory, although you probably won't want to spring for that one in the current climate. Up to 2 terabytes of storage, and up to Wi-Fi 7. One of the most impressive things about it though is of course the thermal solution. ASUS says that they can do 50 watts peak and 45 watts sustained on this processor, which for graphics intensive workloads could make a major difference to performance. Oh, I guess we should look at ports too. Over on the left, we've got Thunderbolt 4, HDMI, as well as a 10 gigabit per second USB Type A and a 3.5mm jack. And over on the right, we've got another Thunderbolt 4 port, as well as another USB Type A. Really goes to show you, they never had to take these ports away from us. This thing is so thin. Nice big trackpad. Oh, ooh. Not sure how I feel about this design choice. The trackpad goes all the way to the edge. What's cool about that is it creates an easy lift spot for a 1-finger lift. What's weird about it is it creates kind of a, well, yeah, maybe it doesn't matter. I thought maybe it would matter, but yeah, I guess it doesn't. I guess I don't touch there. Cool idea then. Since we're looking at the bottom, they've got fancy fans and they draw air over multiple components inside to keep the whole thing cool. They wanted us to mention that. Seriously though, like I don't know how to convey how impressive this is. Like here, Glenn, can you hit the light that is reflecting off this screen right now? That's the f***ing light that is pointing at this screen right now. Are you f***ing kidding me? That's it. Like that's not incidental, that's the one. Like if I adjust this, even with the light right behind me, even on a black screen, that's incredible. It runs at 2880 by 1800, so that's a 16:10 aspect ratio, up to 120 hertz. And I already mentioned before, but it bears mentioning again, up to 1400 nits of peak brightness. So let's check out some HDR content. That's fun. Haptic trackpad. Oh, that's really nice. So they went and they put the motors right under the trackpad, so you get a really nice, satisfying feel. I'd like to see a little bit more granularity in the touch sensitivity, but I am really liking this keyboard. It's so funny because I actually wouldn't have noticed if the chassis didn't feel so unique and so good, but the keys are smooth, which just, I don't know, it's fine. It just threw me for a bit of a loop. Surprisingly good travel, all things considered, right? Like, this is a really thin device. It's really giver.
Oh God,
You can hear it, right? But can you see it flexing?
No.
That's pretty good. Wow. Anyway, it's got a lot more going for it than just that. The Intel Core Ultra Series 3 is probably the most important product that Intel has launched in the last few years, at least. It's competitive in terms of performance and battery life, and maybe more importantly, it has what looks like Intel's best integrated GPU ever, by far. It's still based on Battlemage, but it's a new generation with up to 12 Xe3 cores. And we're about to try it out. Let's fire up some Cyberpunk, shall we? And like, look, sponsored video, have your doubts. Whatever, I don't blame you. But you can see it. This is a normal screen at this angle, all right? This thing with just, enough performance to use for productivity on the road and even some light gaming on the road, but also Thunderbolt 4, you could like throw a GPU on it when you're at home. Like, have I even mentioned how many CPU cores it has? I think we've got the Core Ultra X7 SKU, right? Yeah, so we've got 16 cores, but you can get this with up to a Core Ultra X9, which is also 16 cores, the one that this will ship in. That actually makes sense because this is still a thin and light design, even if they did put a bunch of work into the cooling system. And actually, it's got a number of different modes that it can operate in. There's Whisper, Balanced, and Performance mode. And truthfully, I don't know which one we're in right now. There we go. Standard mode, Whisper mode, Performance mode. This is Performance mode? Not bad, actually. And if you had told me back when Cyberpunk came out that I would be playing it looking like this on onboard graphics on a thin and light, I'd have told you that you're high. Like, is there a little bit of stutter? Yeah. Are we using a bit of frame gen? Uh-huh. But if you'd told me I'd be able to do it at all, I'd been like, no. If I had to guess, I'd say I'm probably getting about 24 cinematic frames per second right now. You know what? I'm still giving myself credit here because my 1% lows are anywhere from like 25 to 30. Let's have a look at our settings though. Ray tracing, yeah, okay. We could do that, or hear me out, let's just not. Oh yeah, buddy. Quite a bit smoother. And that's with frame gen off. And we're running at native res, which we do not have to do. So hear me out, let's drop the res down a little. Oh, dude. Oh, we didn't even have HDR on before. Dude, this looks sick. Dude, just lose a little bit of resolution, play around with the settings a little bit. This OLED screen is crazy. Oh yeah, I guess we could listen to the speakers. Oh, and I'm dead. Okay, sorry. Not bad. 6 drivers, I think they said?
Not funny.
Huh. Damn. That's pretty big sound out of a pretty small laptop. I'd like to see how it does in a slightly lighter game in like, standard mode. Let's play some Counter-Strike 2. While we're waiting, ASUS wanted us to highlight some of the security features of this laptop, including that it meets US NIST guidelines for resilient system firmware and recovery from BIOS level attacks. Also, it has that fingerprint sensor and a whole bunch of other stuff. Self-encrypting drive storage support, cool. Yeah, it's way quieter in the standard profile. How about Whisper mode? Okay, so we'll do like heavy Google Maps, Hey, there's the studio. Cool studio, bro. Yeah, Whisper mode's very quiet, even when you're like doing a little bit of stuff. Super quiet in Whisper mode. Oh, this is cool. Got a little cover for the webcam. I like that it has a nice, clear indicator. I have another laptop that just has kind of like a matte black one, so sometimes it's hard to tell. Okay, now we're getting into like pretty playable territory, like 60, 50 FPS. Okay, yeah, now I'm getting like 65, 80 FPS. Oh, apparently we're going this way. The directional sound is like actually kind of trippy off this thing. What's the point of crosshairs when the bullet doesn't go where you point it? I hate this game so much. All right, let's try out the webcam. Apparently Panther Lake has a much better ISP than the previous generation, so that should help make better cameras.
All right, and that's the webcam and hopefully the microphone as well. Not the best I've ever seen. Certainly far from the worst. Here it is with a pretty difficult backlight. And here it is with a production crew. What's up, y'all?
We don't have pricing yet, but this isn't coming out for at least a couple of more months, so there is still time to do that. And wow, is it ever in a good place right now, considering that it's not even ready for release yet. We haven't even talked about like fingerprint resistance. I don't think I could put a fingerprint on this thing if I tried. Who has super greasy, gross hands? Put a fingerprint on it, I dare you. And this is ShortCircuit. Subscribe. Thanks again to ASUS for sponsoring this video and to you for watching.